What's going on, y'all? This is your girl, Neek Speaks. I am super excited about this episode. I'm always excited about my episodes that God give me. But those that don't know who I am your personal and professional coach. I am also the creator of the Relationship Conference. And so tonight, I'm going to just give you guys about 30 minutes of your time. I'm just to give you guys some insight when we're talking about abstinence. We're talking about not having sex and the difference between abstinence and celibacy, because a lot of times people use those two terms in the wrong context. And so I'm going to try my best to take my time and give you what you need. So if you are a man or a woman who's been kind of exploring this area, not really sure if you want to partake in this area, if you're tired of soul ties, dealing with casual sex is not getting you anywhere. If your vision is blurry, if your spirit is foggy, and you're trying to figure out what's happening, this is the video you want to watch tonight. Let me know in the comments below if you have questions. Feel free to chime in, because we're going to go in a little bit tonight. And don't feel I would say don't be embarrassed. It's not a place for that. No, this is a judgment free zone, because Neek is about to tell y'all about herself. Okay, so let me just dive in and give you guys the definitions of abstinence and as celibacy. So let me tell you about abstinence first. So abstinence is to refer to the decision not to have penetrative sex. Okay, it's typically limited to a specific time period until marriage. So again, abstinence is for people who want to have sex, okay, at a certain time in their life when they're ready to be married, or even they want to be with a lifelong partner. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to break it down because I want to give you both the practical and also what the word of God says. So celibacy, now this is different. Listen closely. To remain abstinent over an extended period of time, and this can mean your lifespan, so your entire life. So somebody who's abstinent, they're not looking to have a sexual relationship with a partner. Now, some people will say that's nuns, but you have people who are not nuns who are celibate, and they are not looking to have a sexual relationship with someone. Can you have a relationship with somebody without having sex? It is possible. I know some women, when I was a little bit younger, around my 20, like 23, 24, I met some women who would prefer not to be intimate with a man or have sex with a man because of the penetration. And so, hearing what women were going through early on in my life, it caused me to be hesitant to want to dive into that area. And some of my friends had told me some stories down through the years, and they were telling me, Neek, hold out, just wait. You want to be with the right person. And so, tonight, I want to ask you a question. What is your why? Why do you want to be abstinent? Is the question. You have to know your why. And that is something that I had to really think about as I got a little older, because I was looking at everyone else's experience. I wasn't trying to be like, I need to get my own experience, but I leaned in to what a lot of what my friends were saying. Some of my mentors growing up in the church were telling me of their experience. And not so much, my why didn't come from the church. I had to tell people that even though I was heavy in ministry, singing, dancing, miming, all those things as a young person growing up in church, but that's not my why. My why came from experiences from the people that are surrounding me. And also too the things I was dealing and petting with, with the guys that I liked. So some of those things along the way came too. So, but at the same time, my experiences with my friends, hearing their stories, and it kind of inspired me to really think about, okay, what do I really want? How do I want to be treated? And so I started working on my self-worth as a young person. Um, and getting into my word, that also helped me to be conscious of what type of people I'm entertaining in my life. And so I can say on like one hand how many guys I've interacted with, because of me working on my self worth. So, again, I want to ask you tonight, what is your why? Why do you want to be abstinent? And so, there are some benefits in being abstinent. And I want to share some of those benefits. And you may want to write some of these down. You may want to write some of these benefits down. So, one benefit is waiting until you feel sexually ready in a relationship. And to me, I said this before my platform, I rather you wait until you are with someone that you know that knows you, that knows your body, because you guys are working together, you're understanding, you're talking, having conversations about sex. Because there are so many people who are dating just to have casual sex. And it's like, what are you doing? You need to get to know the person, and you need to take your time, because you don't want to have sex with somebody and you start changing. I've seen that happen with my friends. They started changing because they are carrying other people's weight, other men's weight. Same thing with men. You carrying other people's spirits. So I want you to know that you got to be very mindful and what you're doing with your body. So the first thing again is you wait until you with the right person. The next one is enjoying your partner's company without dealing with the sexual part. Or you want to focus on school. You're again, maybe you have a personal preference where you want to wait for sex until marriage, your religious beliefs. Or you want to be abstinent because you want to get over a breakup. That's huge. And here's another one that I talked about before with another collaborator of mine: healing from a death of a partner. That is something that a lot of people don't think about either. Or someone who might be terminally ill, and you want to abstain from stepping on your partner who might be terminally ill. So these are different things that we do not think about when it comes to abstinence. And I wanted to bring that to light. So if you're somebody who wants to deal with old wounds and you want to cleanse yourself from those things, abstinence is the way to go. All right. So I want you to think about that. And here are some tips I want to give you when it comes to understanding on your body. You need to take time out to know your body. And I've had a few people on my platform talk about sensuality. So, understanding touch. What does that feel like? So that when you are with your partner, you can able to talk to your partner about what you like, what you don't like. It's kind of hard trying to be pleased by somebody who doesn't know your body but want to have sex with you. You have to be willing to have that conversation during the dating phase. So, in the beginning of the dating phase, especially if you're interested in that person, just talk about what does absence look like to them. You don't have to tell them that you're doing it. Because I know for me, people ask me, do you come out right away and tell people that you're a virgin, you're abstinent? No, I don't. I do not talk about that in the beginning. No, because I'm getting to know the person. I don't believe in going so deep so quick, because you don't want to try to scare people away. And I would say never back down from your standards. Don't back down from your standards. Know your standards, stick to them, but get to know the other person to see where they are, so that you're able to communicate your standards and what your preference is. Okay? So I want you again to think about knowing your body. Very, very important you know your body, because the more you know your body, the more confident you are when you are with your partner, your future partner. Okay? And this also goes for those who are in a relationship. Because if you're in a relationship with someone and you're both are working on being abstinent together, you definitely want to still hone in on these tips I'm giving. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to abstinence for me, what I've done is set boundaries. Setting boundaries is so important, because it helps you to avoid temptation. It helps you avoid temptation. Um, so the first thing when it comes to boundaries is having a curfew. The last guy I dated laughed at me because I told him that I need to be home at a certain time. He said, "You're not a kid, you got a curfew." I'm like, "I know I'm not a kid, but as an adult, a responsible adult, I also need to put boundaries up for myself. You know yourself. You know you're vulnerable, and you know if you the later you stay out, ain't nothing but legs open. At night. I forgot the saying, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing but legs open past midnight, and so I felt away. I'm like, I gotta conform to this because he likes me. I like him. What do I do? And so what I do? I stay out late. Shouldn't be doing that. That's not the way. Okay, it's a distraction. So if a person knocks your preference, anything you're doing that's causing you to stay on track, that's a red flag. Move on. Because if he was in his right mind, or he cared about himself, or cared about what we were trying to do, like as far as like dating, he would have said, "Okay, I totally understand. I don't want to come in between what you're doing. I'm going to honor what you're doing. We can talk the next day." But he didn't do that. He chose the immature route. So that let me know that he was immature about the situation. So I'm telling you, you have to listen to those red flags in the beginning and do not conform to how somebody else responds to your standards, especially if your standards are pure. Hello, somebody. If you are coming from a pure place and a person is not respecting your boundaries and standards, you have to go the other way. And that's okay. Because if they cannot respect you, it's because they don't have respect for themselves. They don't have any standards, no morals, no boundaries. That's a red flag. You want to be with somebody who got something going on in their life, okay? Who's busy, not so busy to where they cannot um, be present with you, but someone who's productive in their life. Okay, you want a quality man, okay, a quality woman. So if you're not dating men and women who are of quality, not busyness, quality, meaning that they have their priorities in order. They may not have everything not be perfect or anything like that, but they may have things in order where they're able to respect where you are. That's when you can consider someone. This is why we should take our time to date, all right, to vet people, because there are some people who are just polluting that dating pool. And then there are some people on the wayside and they tied. Okay, a lot of us are tied because the only people in the dating pool are the ones who are immature. It seemed that way. So let me get off that. But I don't wanted to just mention about the boundaries. Having a curfew, checking in with your accountability partner. A lot of people don't have that. I have a few. So it's important to check in with your accountability partner. You out past a certain time. You might need that good phone call, or you about to go make that run. You better call them. They will bring you back into reality. Like, you gotta make better decisions, okay? So you need a check-in buddy to help you. And then, of course, if you're in a relationship, here's the boundary part for a relationship. If you are in a relationship with someone and you both are practicing abstinence, make sure you are communicating. You're communicating. That is the biggest thing I would say about any healthy relationship. Communication is key. So make sure you are communicating exactly what you desire with each other when it comes to abstinence, and how long you want to be abstinent. Because again, I will tell you this: that just because you're watching this video, watching a replay, somebody gonna have sex anyway. It's how it is. Even when it comes to abstinence, everybody's not called to this. Everybody can't do it. But if you're someone who's considering this for a short period of time, just to see how it works for you, this is something you want to consider. Okay. But if you like casual sex, you like soul ties and all that, this is not the video for you. I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to those who need this. So I want to talk really quick, and this is off the railings. I want to talk about outer course. All right, outer course. I know you probably like, what in the world is that? So if you look on Planned Parenting, they talk about the benefits of outer course. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not going to do this because I know me. Okay, I know me. But they give you some benefits with outer course if you are in a relationship with someone and you both are abstinent. They mention how you can do outer course with masturbation or dry humping with clothes on. Now, I will tell you, well, it says that it don't spread STDs, but I will tell you right now, if you grown and you doing this, don't do that. Don't do not do that. I would not set you up to do anything like that. If you are looking to avoid temptation, okay, looking to come away from that, because anybody who's masturbating or dry humping with their partner, you're bound to go ahead and have sex. You just will. Like, I know at my age, okay, 36, we're not doing that. We're gonna have the sex. That's just being all the way real. Like, that's what we're doing. Because I'm not a kid. Kids do stuff like that. Okay. I would definitely tell parents to talk to their kids about those things. All right. So be mindful of what you do. That right there, I would not recommend to do. Now, there are some things, out of course, things that you can do with your partner to be intimate without that skin on skin contact. Okay. You can kiss. A lot of people say kissing can get you pregnant. How you kiss. Okay, so I'm not going to get on to the technical parts of that. That's on you and your partner. Hugging is okay, and massages are okay. If you are single, you should go out and get a massage. You should go out and get a massage. Um, and then, of course, there are other things too. As single folks, you can get a manicure, get a pedicure. Those are sensory areas for touch of sensation, okay, to help you navigate when you're getting urges. So you're not tempted to go and have a Pookie or a Ray Ray to, call them up and go do something. Mm-mm. You want to use other avenues to help you in this area. So I know again this is kind of touchy, but at the same time, we cannot have this be a touchy conversation anymore. We got to have a conversation so we know how to navigate in our singleness. Okay, I've been at this for about 30 years, and God has some say to me. Now I will say, is it hard? The older I get, it is. The older I get, yeah. However, when you have boundaries in place, you can avoid a lot of things. Now, do I go out? Absolutely. Now, one time did I say that you shouldn't go out and avoid men and avoid women? No. You need to be out there. You trying to get out the dating pool. Okay? But at the same time, as a single person, you shouldn't be having casual sex, because every time you lay down with somebody, you are now delaying that man or woman of God that's supposed to be in your life. Every time you lay down with somebody who's not committed to you, okay, and they're not trying to be better, okay, you got to be mindful of that. Who you laying down with? How are they an asset in your everyday life? Are they just a convenience for your itch? Like, these are real questions you have to ask yourself. Why I keep laying down with this person, knowing they're not committed to me, knowing they're not gonna do anything, and I'm not gonna be committed to them? Like, that's a real thing. Um, One other thing about outer course, it also increases trust and closeness between the partners. So if you are hugging your partner, cuddling, having conversations, those are areas of intimacy. Okay, sex is not intimacy. Intimacy is in other areas of vulnerability. So your flaw areas. All right, I don't want to go into that, but I want to just touch on it really quick. When it comes to intimacy, it goes beyond sex. Okay, being able to cuddle, being able to hold each other, being able to have meaningful conversations, even when you're holding each other, not trying to have sex, but just having that intimate time where it doesn't have to necessarily be sex. because sex is not intimacy, it's totally different. All right, because there are people who can have sex, but they cannot have intimacy. What I mean by that is they can be in a bedroom with you, but outside the bedroom, they're not able to court you. They're not able to hold hands. They're not able to cuddle with you afterwards. This is a real thing. So I want you not to get it twisted. And of course, I have expert friends in this area that can still give out more than I can in that area. But I want to say from my experience when it comes to dealing with men and dealing with intimacy, they all had an issue with it. They all had an issue with it. And that's because of what was not taught at home. So if you're not getting that intimacy, if you didn't never experience intimacy at home with your parents growing up, then you're gonna think that intimacy is sex when you get older. And that's what's happened with a lot of this generation. So a lot of people giving their advice or expertise, and some of them are not really living it. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to talk about no one but me. Okay, and I'm telling you that I've tried to show what that looks like, and it was hard for them to receive the intimacy that I was giving because no one's ever showed them. Every woman they've been with. So some men will run back to familiar because that's all they know. Same thing with some women. They'll run back to that toxic man because that's all they know. But when God is trying to is bring something fresh and new into your life, you have to be willing to unlearn what you've learned in the past. So I hope that this is helping. So far, I have a few more minutes. So when it comes to the dating phase of when you're abstinent, like I said, make sure you have that conversation. Never lower your standards. Never do that. And I will also say just take your time when you're dating men or women. Make sure they have good character. You want to attract men and women who have good character. If you're someone who's working on yourself, if you're abstinent or looking to be abstinent, this is a great time to work on your character. It will help you. It will you will walk in integrity. I know for me, down through the years, I have changed a lot. Um, and one of the things that has been really sharp is my discernment. So when I meet people, it's not so much of a wall. I'm open to meet people, but that has been one of the gifts that has really been heightened because of my time with God, and walking with Him in my abstinence. And there have been times that I asked the Lord, like, Lord, what's going on? Because just because I'm abstinent does not mean that my parts don't work. They all work. And I tell the Lord, like, Lord, you're going to have to do something because, and I have to pray a lot. I have to pray a lot so that I can just stay sane and not pick up that phone. I had to delete numbers just so I can not be tempted. Oh my gosh, I cannot, and I thank God that I don't have those numbers no more. The first thing I did was I started putting, and I'm being real. The name was in my phone, and I would put "Do not answer." One of them was "Do not answer ever." No, when you gotta do that, just delete the number. Okay, just delete the whole number so you will not be tempted to go back because when you start having not just having sex but oral sex, those are all gates that the enemy wants to use. So if you allow those gates to open, guess what? That soul tie, you're building soul tie with that person. And then if that person don't do it right, you got somebody else on the roster. And then if that person don't do it right, you don't be bothered with them, you got somebody else. Those are different uh gates and doors and windows that God does not want us to entertain. And when we start dibbling and dabbling in that, guess what? Now we're pulling ourselves further away from purpose, what God has called us to. So people don't like talking about that, but it's the truth. And when people who are having casual sex and they're doing stuff behind the closed doors as they think that God don't see them. God do see them, and He still love you. But you can't get mad when you see other people thriving and you don't understand how is this happening for them? Because they're choosing to live a lifestyle of purity. You gotta be real. Because as soon as you lay down with somebody, you're gonna get up with something. And it ain't the Holy Ghost. Okay? So you gotta be mindful of who you lay down with. Not just having sex, but also oral sex, because again, all those are gates. All right, you gotta be very mindful of that. All right. So I know I had a few people come on here. If y'all still on, y'all could be in the chat. Y'all could ask some questions because I know you have some questions. Just ask. Just ask. I'm not even looking at my phone right now to see who's on. I'm looking through my little thing here, but tonight we not tonight, but on this Friday coming up, we will have a new segment with my sister Deanne McGowan. We're talking about strong friend therapy. It's coming up, and I'm excited for her. She's gonna be sharing some things with us. But before I go, I just wanted to reiterate a few things. If you missed the early part of this, when it comes to abstinence, the three things that I want you to do: understand your why. Understand your why. Why do you want to be abstinent? Why do you want to live this lifestyle? Why do you want to go into this area? What do you think is going to do for you? Okay. And do you believe this is for you? Like, that's a real thing. And don't be fooled. There are men out here who are abstinent. There are women out here who are abstinent. You would be surprised. Not every man want to be laying down with all these women. I've known some guys, and they told me like, it's out here, ain't nothing out here. And I want to say that there are good men and there are good women out there. I just believe you have yet to meet them. You have yet to encounter them. I think you just have to get in the right space to meet those people. And the big thing I want to tell singles right now: stop worrying about who's not out here. Worry about you being out here. Are you healing? Are you healing? Are you doing the self work? Are you really happy in your singleness? All right. So those are the things I would tell every single person out here. Because you pointing fingers saying this person, that person, but what are you doing in your singleness to make it so joyful, to make it happy? Because you are in control of your own happiness. All right. So I want you to understand that you're in control of your body, not that man, not that woman. You are in control of what you allow to happen with your body. No one can learn your body better than you. Nobody. So you got to take the time out to get to know you, get to know your body, know your triggers, because when you know your triggers, you will set boundaries. You will set boundaries with yourself and with men and with women. Okay, that is, I would tell any woman that know your triggers, know your triggers. I know mine. Okay, and trust me, it won't be no dry humping. It won't be none of that. Okay, listen, they say kiss and get you pregnant. It will happen for me. Trust, I know. So again, you have to know yourself and be comfortable and confident in that, and you're gonna see yourself build in discipline. You become more responsible with yourself. And abstinence taught me how to be responsible, and become disciplined even in my business. I'm learning so much. Like back in 2018, I probably wouldn't be talking like this. All right. But here I am. Here we are. God have me out here. All right. So this is a conversation that a lot of people do not like. But guess what? It is necessary for a time such as this. And one more thing I want to mention before I let you guys go is make sure you are vetting men, vetting women. When you're dating, get to know them. Do not test drive nothing. That is the trick of the enemy. Nowhere in scripture does it talk about test driving anything. No, because you don't have to test drive nothing to get to know somebody. I'm gonna say that again. You do not have to test drive no Negro to know if that's going to be a good relationship. Your relationship should not be based on if the sex is going to be good. That's dumb. What's the point? You might as well just have casual sex because that's what you're into. You may have some people now again. Abstinence is not for everybody. Some people may have um, some people may have like an addiction. If you have an addiction to sex, this may not be for you. Or if you're again, if you might have a problem and you're looking to try a way to solve it and come away from having casual sex, you may want to lean in on this. Why do I want to be abstinent? Why do I want to cleanse myself? Because abstinence is a way of healing, detoxing, coming away from all the other type of people, having all them soul ties. Because when you start to focus on yourself and cleanse yourself from people that you were dealing with sexually, guess what? Now your eye gate, your ear gate becomes clear, your mind, everything becomes clear because now your mind is focused on things that God wants you to do. Now you're able to, you don't have all them people on you. All right. You don't have all them ties on you because you don't let yourself loose from all those spirits that are trying to attach themselves to you. But a lot of people don't think about abstinence like that or sex like that. People just I have an itch, I need to get it off, on to the next. The thing is, God, He invented sex. Yes, that's the truth. Okay, we're supposed to have these feelings. That's natural. All right. The devil's not in that. Let's keep it real. You are, as a human, we all have hormones. It's a part of our human makeup. However, God has given us the gift of self control. We have to learn how to control certain things. All right, and it takes time. Give yourself grace to learn about abstinence. Do your research. You can go to plannedparenthood.org. They have a lot of information on there about abstinence, about outer course, all of those things. I believe in giving you all practical information. I'm not a Bible thumper, however, the Bible does tell us a whole lot about abstinence and celibacy. Okay, and we know that Paul was a big advocate for if you he rather you not to burn, but to be married. Okay, to be married than to be in sexual immorality. All right. So I'm not gonna go into the word. I'm done for the evening. I hope this helps somebody. Again, the three things I want you guys to remember is number one, know your why. Why do you want to be abstinent? Why do you want to walk in this light? And know your body. Know your body. No one's gonna know your body better than you. Okay, know your body so that when you do have a conversation with the right man or the right woman that you want to uh, be with, you both have a mutual understanding of how to please each other. Hello, somebody. Okay. Um, and number three, set boundaries. All right. Have a curfew. Have a check-in buddy, a accountability partner. I told you I already have one. And make sure you are communicating with your partner effectively, so that you not in the group chat talking about your boo with your future, talking about the future spouse with your friends. Don't do that. Make sure you are communicating. But when you start working on yourself in your singleness, working on yourself being and working on healing from the past, those past traumas, um, also from molestation and from breakups, or if you were married and somebody passed away, this is a good time to be abstinent to work on healing from those wounds. All right, I want you to consider those things tonight. On this Friday, we have Deanna McGowan, and we're going to be talking about strong friend therapy. Ooh, y'all do not want to miss her. She's going to give us some amazing information about how to be one with self, and also how not to take on so many other responsibilities of people. Okay, taking on taking on everyone's stuff, knowing how to love yourself, balancing in everyone else's problems. Because as a strong person myself, I've learned to detach. All right, I detach quick. But she's gonna give us practical tools on how we can navigate helping people at the same time making sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And I know there's a lot of people out there who always helping someone else, but this Friday we want you to tune in with us. We want all of our healers, all of our problem solvers. If someone calls you with a problem, and you will always the first person they call. You a problem solver. You a healer. You need to be on this call with us this Friday at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube or Facebook Live. Um, so again, guys, thank you all so much for being on tonight. Again, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. There's so much coming up in 2024. I have yet to share any of that, but God is good. It's amazing things happening, and I can't wait to share with you all soon. You all have an amazing week, and I'll see you all in my next video. God bless. See y'all.